Oh, are we on?
I don't know.
Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to Self-Employed episode.
Yeah.
What number, Mike?
100s.
100s of the Enlightened Neanderthals, brought to you by my company, Training Northwest, which you can find at trainingnorthwestllc.com. I just, in the last couple of days, posted the reservations for the 2026 rifleman camps. Those are happening July.
Are they already sold out?
No, there's plenty of spots.
I would imagine they're already gone.
They're going to get sold out fast.
I would say limited supply. So act fast.
Yeah.
I would act now. Reserve your spot to get like preferential treatment.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a slacker.
Red carpet arrival.
Yeah. Mike Kozak will agree. Yeah.
Sorry,
You'll get a handshake.
wearing his short bathrobe and his fuzzy slippers.
You ready to fucking slay it?
What's up, Commando?
Yeah.
July
Very
20,
cool.
24
I'm sorry,
through
Tobin,
26.
but I
and
love it.
August 7 to 9.
I love Rifleman Camp.
It's pretty
You've
fun.
created such a cool little weekend of immersion. And like, you know, it's like any grappling seminar or anything. It's like, here's one move, but it's like, all right, this is to spark something and keep going. And fucking this last one bit me hard.
Did it?
You bit me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. My hunting bag will say that. Yeah. It'll tell you.
You just point at your dick.
Yeah. Oh, that's the bag. Yeah. Anyways, Rifleman Camp, sign up. It is a blast. If you've ever heard this and thought about it, maybe you're out of stater, fucking do it. It is worth every moment. Every skill you will forever have. Every friendship will be a bond. But it's nuts, dude. It seriously is. And like I said, the land nav, I'm still quite hard.
Are you?
Yeah. Still looking at compasses, unfortunately.
Little map reading boner.
Dude, Amazon sends me notifications all the time. It's like, this compass has dropped 18%.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, Rifleman Camp. I'm sorry.
No. This is great. That is good advertising. That's a good review right there.
What's the song?
That's a 5-star review.
Yeah,
5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. Transcribe it onto Yelp.
Yeah. All right. Mike, what the fuck?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This is my episode.
Yeah.
Good versus evil, which many people are saying at the moment. But what I contend is good versus evil is narcissism on a global scale. And I think we got nowhere into this. We argued for probably, I don't know, an hour at the definition.
Without really understanding each other.
Narcissist. But what you're trying to do is but that's hammering it out too. It's like these flaws. What's a characteristic of a narcissistic person? Like I said, the cell phones in the United States, but we know they're slave labor. Yet we buy them. That creates a narcissistic society. I think this good, evil, but also it's like we do bad things for our benefit. Like, what is that question? That's what I wanted. What I got are two completely different things.
What you got was podcast gold, buddy.
Yeah, that's
guys. Go ahead, get on Spotify or iTunes and give us a 5-star review. We are still trying to spread the show.
Yeah,
and enjoy.
Long live the Neanderthals.
Yeah, enjoy Mike's narcissism. Let's time this. I do have to pick Nathan up from football practice. Is why.
Not tonight. He's getting an Uber.
Tonight he's walking home, but I can be a little late. I'm that kind of dad.
Yeah, you're about to learn. So you came into this blind.
I am completely 100% blind to what is coming at me.
Dry and blind.
Mm-hmm.
No lube.
No lube.
All right. Well, let's go into it. What has Mike been thinking about? Mike has been thinking about this. The more I listen to content.
I like that you have a rocking chair now.
Old
This
man Mike.
this is fitting. Yeah. He's rocking as he's talking.
Dude, I have a wool sweater I can put on, and like
should.
we can hit
Get
pause.
your fuzzy slippers.
Yeah. Oh, fuzzy slippers are already on. You just can't see them.
Right.
Yeah. They're fur lined. Don't worry. So many people are saying good versus evil.
Okay.
We're at a point right now where
The veil is thinning.
not the veil, but everyone says like, well, who's in charge, or what is this, or what's the point of all this chaos? And so many people say it's like, you listen to Tucker, and Tucker will always say, oh, I almost went Jordan Peterson, but he'll say it's a good versus evil thing. And he's a super biblical person. And it seems like it's hip. Well, it's not a huge thing on the right to be religious, and especially Christian. But a lot of people that are like post killing of Charlie Kirk is like created fire,
I'll bet. I've paid no attention to. I'm also completely blind to pop culture right now.
Well, you got to. The world's kind of.
I basically checked out of the world, brother.
No, it's not. But here's the thing: the world is happening whether we want it to or not.
Agreed.
And the way it seems to be kind of happening, there's this talk of we're in this time of good versus evil. I had a lot on podcasts and stuff. And I have religiousness in me, but I don't think we're in a moment of
Point to the part of your body that it's in.
Yeah. But also it's like you say, it's worth saying, like, we're in this age of awakening. There seems to be a spiritual,
yes.
right?
I agree with that
kind of
myself.
part, right? And in that kind of essence, I feel like so many people, what has been politics is becoming people saying it's forces. It's this awakening. It's a revolution. But
I think it's a crumbling of the existing system is what you're seeing. The reason there's so much chaos and sort of dysfunction is that the government has become far too top-heavy. It's corrupt. It doesn't actually serve us, and it is slowly falling apart. And so that it's like all the corrupt rats are scampering to save themselves, but in the end, they're all going down with the ship.
But we've seen that in the past. I've kind of been, like I said, I've been going down like a Napoleon in France, late 1700s, right? Mm-hmm. And to me, it seems like we're kind of doing the same thing, or like we're mirroring something that's already happened in the past. Like, what's the quote? History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme.
Yeah, it certainly seems to repeat itself.
Oh, well,
maybe
right
not.
now a little too well, but yeah, it's rhyming very well. And I feel that like this good and evil thing, like I said, I'm going into France and I'm looking out France falling apart in the late 1700s. And France, it seemed like at that time, it wasn't good or evil. It was exactly what you were explaining before, where power structure was broken into clergy, like noble officials, which are government and or people with money, noble status, and then just the common person. And the common person was the only person that was taxed at that time, right? And so when you have this situation where everything is based upon the people with nothing, while only people with ability, make law, dictate law, it's not good and evil to me. I feel like what we're seeing is narcissism like happen throughout history, right? Like people saying, I deserve this. And don't get me wrong, you can deserve something, like be a Jew in Germany in the fucking 40s or late 30s, mid 30s. You know, it's like, yeah, you do deserve the freedom, right? To not be persecuted, to shot, to rounded up, to put in concentration camps, for your businesses to be shunned and stuff like that. But someone in their mind is thinking that's a narcissistic person, right? For the benefit of me, for the benefit of my group in a certain way. So where I'm going with this,
I'm struggling to keep up.
I'm battling whether it's like I said, everyone's kind of in like, we're in this cultural awakening, or like we're in this spiritual thing, and this is a good versus evil thing.
I agree.
And is it really good versus evil, like spiritually, or is this just narcissism flaring up again, which it always seems to do throughout history?
I don't think of narcissism.
Ruler.
How are you using narcissism? Define narcissism and how you're using it. Because to me, narcissists are people
you don't
who think
care
that
what's happening as long as you benefit.
That's not
You
how
are
I define narcissism.
important.
I define narcissism as somebody who believes life is happening to them, and so they consider themselves a victim of their circumstance, as opposed to they are happening to life and they make their own choices.
You make your own choices, but part of your life is a little bit of what victim culture and mentality.
Yes, and so I think narcissism is a way of putting you into a low vibrational state, right? So
right?
Quantum physics says that at the smallest levels, we are actually electromagnetic creatures. We're not solid. We're made of light and electromagnetic fields. And as we know, light waves and electromagnetic fields vibrate, right? So when you're in a low vibrational state, then, supposedly that is what certain other dimensional entities feed off of. So we exist in the third dimension, right? And so we can look around and we can see other objects and creatures in the third dimension, and we can even look at two-dimensional objects and understand a one-dimensional object, but we really don't have any sort of way of conceptualizing the higher dimensions. And so it is completely possible that there are creatures who live in a fifth dimension, seventh dimension, whatever you want to call it, anything higher than 3, that we would not have any way to be aware of them.
Yeah.
And so if there are, let's say, for example, that there are entities that are fifth dimensional creatures that gain power from your low vibration because they resonate with it. So when you vibrate at a low level, you resonate with their sort of like their standard frequency. And so you can contribute energy to their system. That's kind of what this spiritual stuff is saying. And so then when you raise your personal vibration into these higher octaves of happiness and love, then you no longer feed that system. And that's sort of the good versus evil. Which system are you feeding into with your personal electromagnetic energy?
But doesn't it get blurred a little bit too? Like, think of the amount of people that would say you're on a hiking trail and you see a baby deer on the trail and you're like, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden a cougar jumps down and it bites that little sweet Bambi by the neck, right? And a lot of people with Patagonia on would be like, oh my, that's the worst thing. That should not happen.
So those are the same people who want to put grizzly bears back in the woods.
But here's my point. Maybe someone that's more of a hunter is like, well, that's how it works. Like, yes, it's hard to see what's happening, but that animal is then probably taking that and eating it to help sustain life for children or feeding its own. Right? So it's hard sometimes to say what is the best thing, right? What is the most ethical thing?
This makes no sense to me.
So saying something is righteous or it's moral, like killing's wrong. Like we're in this moral revolution, whereas narcissism,
murder
like,
is wrong.
And you can, but in that case, murder's right.
No, it is
because
not.
That's how the animals
that
work.
is a life cycle. That's not murder. Murder is killing someone for reasons other than self-defense or a creature other than for self-sustenance.
So then if you take that part of the equation,
you are allowed to defend yourself.
But if you're taking that part out of the equation where you don't understand food consumption murder.
That's not so a cougar killing a deer is not murder.
But people see it that way.
That's because they're retarded.
And that's where I'm saying, well, yes, they agreed. Yeah. But where people will see things differently, it's the exact same thing happening, but two people will have different perspectives, right? And you can use, like I said, the world's falling apart in a way, and it seems like, but is this really like something based off of
I don't think a deer and a cougar is a very good analogy to the world falling apart, because the deer and the cougar is part of a natural cycle, whereas this, actually, hang on a minute, this is part of a natural cycle where this is the rise and fall of a civilization.
But that's what destruction is, and is part of having destruction a society and civilization of narcissism.
Hang on, okay.
Rising high and low.
Important point of the Great Awakening is that deconstruction is an important process, because this is apart. Right. This is the lesson of the phoenix. Before the new can rise, the old must be burned into ashes. And so this exists on a personal level. Like if you're like me, and I go through like post-traumatic stress and divorce and whatnot, that was a disassembly of my old life. And before we hit record on this machine, we were both laughing and joking about how I don't go to work on a construction site anymore. And so life is infinitely better because now I'm starting to do all of the things I enjoy, and I'm learning how to be creative with it and monetize it. So this is like I disassembled my old life, this old life that was not serving me, went full disassembly, almost to the point of self-destruction. Yeah. And then now, since then, for the last 2 years, I have been recreating like the new life that serves me. And society is going through literally the same thing right now. The old is being disassembled so that something new can rise. And in that lies opportunity. The outcome is not guaranteed, but what people need to understand is that this isn't like fucking doom and gloom. This is a good thing. This is a chance to rebuild a society in a way that we want to see, right? Like, let the shit fall apart because it's not working anymore. Like we're overtaxed, we're overburdened, we are fucking aware. There is so much corruption that we are aware of, and absolutely nothing is being done about it. Let this fucking system fall apart, because honestly, you can't stop it at this point. There are some last desperate attempts being made to save it, but it's too little, too late. And it's, if you step back from it and sort of evaluate it from a 5,000 foot view, you'll see that it's already in progress. It's the tipping point has come and gone.
Tipping point hasn't come and gone. It's still being figured out, I feel.
I think the United States of America, as we know it, is in the process of deconstructing. Disassembly.
Yeah, but can't you rewrite something through that? Like, you don't have to be. What is a fighter? What is a fighter?
A fighter?
What is a fighter that has a career where it's like they suck for a long time and all of a sudden they figure it out and they become belt holders? There's examples of that.
Do you think all of these fucking people in all of our leadership positions and cabinet positions are suddenly going to have a change of heart, and they are all scrambling to cover their crimes?
No, but I mean that the leadership can be passed by, like, what is a coup? Like, a coup is a change of guard, right? Usually it's enacted by force and stuff, but if people really are the taxes,
there's no need for a coup here. This is going to it's self-destructing.
But that is the coup, then, the mind to deconstruct how operations normally work.
And a lot of it, going back to the Great Awakening now, is a lot of what is causing this deconstruction and what is going to further it is it's the revolution of the mind, realizing that you are sovereign. You answer to no one except your own. Like you came, we've talked about this before. You came here pre-baked with morality. You don't need someone to tell you what to do. You already know the right thing in your mind before you do it. Through learned behavior and traumas, you sort of adapt these learned behaviors that allow you to overcome your morality and think that it's okay. Deep down, you know you're fucking wrong. So part of the Great Awakening is the revolution of the mind, which is that once you realize you answer only to your own morality, and it doesn't like, remember when I was ranting about the new vaccine law here in Washington State that they can vaccinate kids without notifying parents at school? I was saying you're right. Like the Washington State law does not supersede natural rights as a father.
Yeah.
So there is natural law. There is natural morality. And that doesn't go away. It will always be here. And so that is part of people waking up and starting to understand who they are, is that the government is completely obsolete. We never needed it in the first place. It was a lie that was sold to us to extort us.
It's not a lie. It's a structure. It's a format, I think, just like a family, like having a father figure.
No. The lie, Mike, is that you need to be governed.
No, I don't need to be governed, but I want someone to help me out through life. Just like a marriage with a woman, I want someone to help support me in certain ways. To be like, hey, we're all in this together, a community infrastructure.
Community is good for you.
Right?
Yes.
But here's the problem. Government and all these things are supposed to be advisories, right?
Okay.
We'll give you the best.
By the way, how is that government doing at assisting you in your life the way you want to be?
But that's what I mean. It's supposed to be advisory. At no part do we truly enact rules and laws. Like maybe there's government assistance and police and stuff and first aid, but to really execute the way that how bills seem to start to pass, or how
with money from big money lobbies.
Yes,
that's how bills start to pass,
right? But so it's that idea, you can only whisper what it is to how do I help someone with the least impact? That is what a government is supposed to be. Right? I
think it's way too late at this point in the United States of America to be talking about what government is supposed to be.
It was late.
The Trump administration was kind of the last chance to show us that, hey, we got your back.
Got it. What are you talking about?
It has been an absolute travesty and a fucking lie. And anyone who is still hanging on to hope that the government is coming to save them, you are a fucking clown.
I'm not saying the government's coming to save you, but I do think these things like I always say, I think communication is the biggest thing. Our representation is what our government's based off of. And having faster communication should be a point where it's we're in somewhere kind of hairy and weird, right? Because there is so much more ability for everyone to express their voice. Remember Epstein files? And they're
what there aren't any.
Nothing.
There's nothing. Turns out we were wrong.
But there's a backlash, and there's the ability to people to express themselves, and it stops things. It makes things okay, now there's even more momentum into Epstein. I think the same thing happened when Obama was president, and he's we're going to invade Syria.
I need to interrupt this cursive soliloquy for a very important announcement that I have just discovered during back-to-back taste testing. Silver bullets are a clear favorite to the rain grenade.
Why? Because they taste like water?
Taste like the mountains. It's the taste of the Rockies, buddy.
Yeah, pure water.
Yeah. These
mountains, with a little Giardia?
Both of these were garage cool. Not even cold enough for the mountains to be blue. I'm going to tell you the taste of the Rockies is superior to the taste of the Western Cascades.
I think there's horseradish in mine. It gives it more flavor and oomph. It's got a bigger flavor profile.
It does say Mountain Fresh on the can. Naturally brewed. Okay, I mean, it's got that going for it. All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
What we're talking about. Power.
I'm struggling to hang with you. I think we're almost having two different conversations.
No, we're having the same thing. It's just verbiage and wordage. You know, that's a good slogan. Patent
verbiage and wordage.
Enlightened
that's a t-shirt.
Right behind
wordage.
Yeah, right behind mental masturbation is verbiage and wordage. But what, like I said, there's something people are saying it's good versus evil. What I'm saying is,
you know what the problem is? You hit the bong and I didn't.
No.
This is why we can't communicate right now. We might have to hit pause.
Parallel universes. No, what all of this goes back to is that exact same thing. I think is like good versus evil, but I see evil, what people would say in a religious term, I quantify in maybe a more material form as narcissism. Like someone that wants something to better themselves with no disregard for what happens in the consequences.
I think that's more like psychopathy.
But a narcissist will, like, they'll manipulate, they'll play.
They will. But I guess in
my
mind,
as a society, what does that do? Like, you know, your cell phone fucking is made by suicidal Chinese people, but you're like, I don't care. It gets me texts so goddamn fast. Yeah. What do I care about that? Unfortunately, we're all a version of a narcissistic society. And that's what I mean.
It's out of balance, I guess, with, we were talking, you know, you brought up the cougar and the deer earlier.
Right.
Modern society has no, like there's nothing wrong with the cougar and the deer. That is a balance of nature.
Yeah.
Human society is out of balance.
Where's the self?
I'll take you deep in a deep rabbit hole. In mysticism, the earth is a conscious entity, and so are all the planets.
Believe it.
But the earth is of a higher level consciousness than we are. That's why we don't interact with it, but it supports us, right? It gives us life. It gives us
a lot of collective.
Gives us everything we need to be here. It is the mother. Like, it literally supports its life. The things that grow and run around on the surface of it support our life, right? So that's why we call it Mother Earth. Fuck, I forgot where I was going with that.
I could say Mother Earth could give me a little bit more during deer season.
I know, maybe. Perhaps she could provide us a little more bounty here in the coming days.
Actually, she's a fucking fickle bitch. You know, Mother Earth has been quite naughty.
I don't know that I've ever been hungry when it hasn't been self-induced.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mother Earth.
I completely lost track.
See, but that
I didn't even need that bong rip.
But that goes into my, like, you'll love this. You'll have a butt plug for this conversation in a way. Is because good and evil is something that exists, right? Now,
I'm sorry. I know what it was. Yeah. The cougar and the deer, the balance.
Go.
Yes. So our way of living has become out of balance with this higher conscious entity that we literally rely on to survive. So of course, as we become out of balance with it, things are like, look at like all the volcanoes that are erupting off the Pacific Ocean and the geomagnetic excursion. Like, the earth is literally when that magnetic pole finally flips, whether it's tomorrow or in 1,000 years, there's going to be crustal displacement. Also, Mike's fighting name. And if that actually happens,
my porn name.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It smells like sardines.
It's going to smell a lot more.
So if an actual crustal displacement event happens, then that is what causes a biblical flood, like the one that is in every major world fucking tradition.
Well, it would throw off the oceans. And this is a great time to bring up crustal displacement because for some reason I watched 2012 with John Cusack.
Oh,
again.
shit. Oh, is that the one where he's running from the ice storm in the helicopter, like trying to get to the East Coast?
No, that was
Disaster
with
movies
Jake
are fucking great.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah.
Brokeback fucking
What is it?
natural disaster.
Yeah, what is that movie? End of Tomorrow, of Days, end of something like that. That was a good one.
End of 10 seconds.
But the one with John Cusack, where it's like 2012, the Mayan calendar predicts the end of the world. Mm-hmm. But they seriously do get like crustal displacement is the thing that happens. Oh, and if you're a pyramid, like Graham Hancock guy, like, you know, like, and even like they gave a paper to, and this is where I think it gets all its validation, Albert Einstein, about like if there's a serious shift in the core and it like turns and it flips polarity, what that does to the outside. And they gave it the example of like the rind of an orange and the like flesh of an orange, and imagining the flesh turning but the rind staying. And so it screws up the rotation and everything. And that movie is so stupid because
the 2012 movie.
Oh, all right. You want the premise of that movie?
I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
Here it is. Hey, you know what's crazy is the world falls like away and beneath you as you're flying a plane and taking off, but somehow you survive. Let's do that like 10 more times.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was like what?
You can sum up the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy of movies to fight in the woods and run away.
Yeah. Dude, it was like you guys did this. They just did the same thing. It was a different runway falling beneath them as they took off. Huh. Yeah. And they're like,
did it again.
100 million
Whooped them again,
weekend.
Josie.
Yeah. Like, if you did that the first time, it's cool. But I don't know. But I like disaster. Do you like disaster movies? Like even back in the 70s, wasn't that a huge thing?
Godzilla?
Like, yeah, but the Towering Inferno about like some New York building on fire, and they were trying.
Backdraft.
Yeah, that was great.
That wasn't really a disaster movie.
Yeah, well, it was Kurt Russell and some bomber. A Mad Men.
Look, Armageddon was a disaster movie, which, by the way, okay,
it's
listen.
Good one.
That fucking comet thing that just passed Mars that they think could be, like it has.
You mean our overlords?
Yeah. That thing. So there was a controversial. I don't even know. Like NASA has stopped releasing information about it. China's space agency has, like all the major space agencies have stopped releasing information about it, even though it's continually getting closer and closer to us. So right now it just passed Mars on the opposite side of the sun. We're kind of coming around in a circle headed toward it. But it's just weird that like there was a bunch of news about it, and then now that it's getting close to the Earth, like I think it'll be here around November. Now they've suddenly stopped talking about it.
Are we getting blue beamed, or are overlords actually here?
Maybe this is it.
See, but that goes once again into narcissism. Like Project Bluebeam is like this idea that like we do a alien invasion to get the people to assimilate.
That is not
right.
That is not at all what I think of narcissism.
Why? Because a collective group is benefiting so much.
Narcissists.
You're so important that you will change the course of humanity. Discord, collective group, and thought to be like, I'm going to impose my will to make money.
Who are you talking about?
That's a narcissistic person.
No.
What is a military-industrial complex? Yes.
No. A narcissistic person is a person who believes that everything in their life is out of their control and that they are a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, you're a victim.
And therefore, they have no control of their own life or of its outcomes.
You're a victim, but also since you're a victim, what is the only thing to do? That's why this Charlie Kirk death thing is interesting, because the thing people on the right have been screaming about, saying you're a Nazi, well, why is that important? And I came to this conclusion. I came to the idea that it's because it's for self-preservation. If you say someone is Hitler, what are they doing? They're stopping your existence, your being, your freedom, that personal sovereignty.
They're trying to squash your power of expression.
Right?
They're trying to sort of like scare you into putting your own expression into a box so that not let it out.
But then that's what you're
not
doing.
Narcissism.
Yes, no, but if that's what you're doing to say, I want my agenda to be the only one. I had a fucked up beginning. I had a bad hand of cards. I was not like the best I could be, right? I deserve a fair playing field. What is I deserve a fair playing field? I deserve a fair playing field is eventually putting Jews in an oven, right? Germany.
It's been said many times.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
From
clip.
Little League to Holocaust.
Dude, my Hallmark cards are going to be
fairness on all playing fields.
It's going to be out of control. But what that is saying that you're so important, you deserve for this to happen. We've been fucked over by something else, right? What is Germany post World War I? We've been ravaged, and now we have fees to pay.
I see what you're saying, where it's like they're using the victimhood mentality to try to gain something, either political favor or actual material wealth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that still. Maybe it's right next door to narcissism. I guess.
But narcissism too, like I said, I've been kind of going down the France rabbit hole. In the French Revolution, awesome guillotines are involved.
Oui, oui.
Yeah. A lot of wee-wees. So, to our flag-bearing friends, let's talk about France and wee-wees. But there was a lot of, in France, like I said, it was clergy and noble people not paying any taxes and all the farmers paying taxes. And you compound
that's oppression, not narcissism.
But no, what is the person that says I deserve to pay nothing while everyone else pays everything?
An oppressor.
Right? But that's narcissistic to be like, I deserve this. This is my role. We're around strong leaders, right? And this is what I've been, this is, that's
self-entitlement.
Yeah, but what is self-entitlement? It's narcissism. It's what...
all right, it doesn't matter. For the sake of the argument, it is narcissism. Continue.
Is it not, this is what I deserve? Like,
no,
even if you train really hard for something, say a competition, and you train really hard and you lose that, right?
Yeah.
So you have two options. One is like, that's how it works and I can train harder. Mm-hmm. But the person that was like, I was fucked over. Maybe my coaches could have been better. That was a shit referee. Someone's altering their reality because to them,
yes,
this fits the prism of how the world works.
Well, it's their ego,
and to be
right?
a person that changes what really is existence into the way that it frames your vision, that is the ultimate narcissist. Throughout history, we've gone through versions of people that want to change it. Genghis Khan, right? Hitler, right? You start naming these big events where things happen, and it's always usually done in the eyes of this is the betterment, right? It's in the betterment under the eyes of one person. If something was voted on and you're like, all right, we killed all the fucking
Holocaust
white people.
It is, but
yeah,
65 to 35.
They're like, the world voted on it. It's like, well, everyone kind of said we should do that.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? But if it's
the UN Assembly has unanimously decided.
Yeah. But if it's one person saying something, that is the ultimate narcissist. Because no matter what the will of the collective or the group, you go against it.
I can have desires that are different from yours, that are authentically mine, and that does not make me a narcissist.
No, that does not. But when it hurts other people for your own benefit and you don't care about it, Like I said,
No,
we
that's
are iPhone
psychopathy.
society.
I think that's psychopathy.
So we're psychotic society, not a narcissistic.
Yes,
that
I think
that
a
phone,
lot of our elected leaders and like unelected cabinet members are psychopathic on some
but then
scale.
that translates
Because
to
they
the
don't,
people.
because they are, when you are in it for yourself, which most of these people are, they're in it to pad their bank account and to give themselves a more comfortable life and to fuel their need, that sort of hall monitor pass, like desire for some fucking authority that makes, this is my little fiefdom, right? That is not narcissism.
Disagree. I strongly
Agree to disagree. This may be our shortest episode ever. What else you got?
But then even the people though, but then what does that do to the society? The people that know that
You
they
look
buy
around
a
you, you
cell
can see
phone,
what's going on. They are
Yeah,
slowly
yeah.
tanking the society through their corruption and greed.
So is it because we're completely nuts? We're not narcissists. We're what'd you say? We're psychopaths. So society
I think our
But then
elected
if you
leaders are
have a
psychopaths.
phone, that means so much to you. But you know,
And I could be
there's-
even saying the wrong condition. I can't remember what there's.
But that's
what's the other one? Psychopath and not schizophrenic.
roses are red, violets
can't
are
fucking
blue.
remember.
What is it? I am my best friend, and I am too. Dude, what's that movie? What About Bob with Bill Murray?
Yeah. Baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah. No, I think if you are at the point where you will do harm to others for your own benefit, like I said, what does that make us then? If our leaders have led that down the road and we'll buy phones, say maybe knowing that it makes convenience for our life and I deserve this. I deserve to have a text group and post my chats and stuff. But at the end of the day, someone's died. People commit suicide at those plants, those Foxconn plants or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you know that, and then part of it's
I
like,
think they're
all right,
straight
so-
up Apple plants.
so, and then also it's like, so some of the stuff that's in your phone, like the coltan and the cobalt and the precious minerals
Comes out
are
of,
slave labor.
Ivory Coast.
So what does that mean though? I use my phone. You use your phone. Am I complete would you say psychopath?
Yes.
I don't think I'm a psychopath. I think society has
We are
pulled
living in an out of balance society.
narcissism.
It's not narcissism.
God damn it, it's narcissism.
Oh, Lord.
All right, pee break. We'll come back.
I need a 2 beer pee.
Pee break.
Hit it.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, I understand his mentality now.
No,
Welcome
Be ready.
welcome to the new Mike.
be ready. Like the cougar, trying to eat that little Bambi. But I think. Sorry, we unplugged and I keep ear beating you. But I think that's what it is narcissism is when someone doesn't care what the outcomes of others are, especially when they're nefarious, and they do it for their own personal benefit. Why are they doing it is a different question. I think why they're probably doing it is they feel they deserve it, right? To something.
I think we're kind of saying the same thing, because in order to feel like you deserve it, you feel like the world, like life is happening to you, which is back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Consequences. Because you wouldn't even be concerned with what you deserve if you understood that you are the creator.
You are the creator, but you've been hurt. And a narcissistic person doesn't think outside the box. I think of what is my purpose, because if you started doing that, you would say, what is the benefit of me and my collective and my group and my actions? It would probably be more towards a utopian thing like our gym, where it's like, let's help others become good. Right? And that weeds out narcissists. Greg's always said it. The gym has a good way. It does
They
its
see
own
themselves
thing,
out. Yeah.
you know? And I think it's because that's what, like you said, it's something that feeds off something. A narcissist will feed.
You know, I haven't seen you there in a while, Mike.
No, you haven't.
Kind of saw yourself out,
They're
huh, buddy?
feeding me, dude. Fuck you guys, dude. I work 12 jobs at this point, dude.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
No.
Too many.
I miss Jim. But you know what I do? I feel like this is what I give back. I can give some content and thought with a mentality in a workplace that is not used to fucking the grind, though. But that's it, dude. If you can, like we always say, it's not about what you do, it's about doing it.
Yeah.
You show up at that time, you're ready to do it, you fucking give it everything you got. It's like, dude, you rise to the top so easy.
Yes. Yes.
But it's like, you know, rising takes time, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about the grind, but that's it.
I think the grind is a social program meant to keep you, sort of like keep you and hold you. It's almost like, Ghostbusters would shoot the ghosts with their fucking like lightning thing.
No.
And then it couldn't go anywhere. It's like that. You're sort of like trapped in this beam of you can't get anywhere, and you're sort of stuck trying and running on the hamster wheel. And most people, like, it was hard for me to walk away from my construction job.
Yeah,
because it came with so much security. But at some point you realize that you are continually sacrificing the present moment. And today was always being sacrificed to have this idea of financial security in the future, which by the time the future arrived, then this financial security was depleted, and you were once again always stuck sacrificing the now for the idea of a safe future. And so I stepped off the hamster wheel, and I feel really fucking good.
I know you stepped off the hamster wheel, but here's one thing I really disagree with. And it's like, because of what you can do, you're able to step away. Right. And for so many people, they're just starting down that hiking path. Like me and James, dude. We thought it was going to be 6 miles. Turned out to be like 10 miles. Right.
But also be aware that you have to start.
You have to start.
I had to start. Like, this is. It's not like I just fucking fell into this in 5 minutes.
And this
has been years.
But that's a problem sometimes. Is people without the skill will be like, the world's my oyster, and I'm just going to dominate it.
I think you know what it is.
You're going to dominate it.
It's
with
back to your point of whatever you do, show up and do it to the utmost of your ability, because it was that mindset that allowed me to sort of become skilled in a bunch of different shit that I can now use to produce enough income to sort of sustain my life and do whatever the fuck I want all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like be not even happy about it, but it's like, dude, I'm going to do this better than the guy next to me. You know, and it just gives you a little bit extra, because that's what competition is. Yes. That's what the jiu-jitsu. This is the warrior spirit, right? Is you see it in one thing, you see it in everything. Papa Kozak's been away, but Papa Kozak has changed industries and moved up very quickly. But what is that? I think is just...
it's willingness to
it's willingness, but I had conversations too with people, and it's like, dude, I've seen you redo things 4 times, but I've never seen you complain, and I've seen you psyched to do it. And it's like, because every time I fuck up, that's when I'm learning something. That's why it's like, what is grappling? It's like, I'm going to give you my back instantly. I don't learn when I'm fucking burying my knee in you. I kind of learn, but it's like, I don't care what your belt is. You take my back and you fucking start choking me, and I'll figure out the way. But what is that? It's like, I want to be here.
Is this how you talk to Danielle too?
But I want to be here for I want to be here for the right reasons. And it makes work good. And being there for the right reasons gives you the skills, because only through constant repetition can you become good at something. And I know you're independent now, but what it took to be independent was fucking slogging.
Yeah.
It was going through that. And if you didn't do that, you couldn't be independent the way you are now. Yes, you could have an independent spirit and a different trajectory, but it would not be backed by the resume or the thoughts or the perseverance or the skills that you have now. So yes, fuck it now that you're past that. But in a way, the things that we say, I hate this, make us.
Yeah, and I think if had I not fucking lived in the like, I've had a job since I was 15.
Yeah.
Like, had I not lived in the grind for so many years, I don't think I would be able to appreciate this now. It would just feel like, whatever.
Not only appreciate it.
Now I'm aware of how good I have it.
Not only appreciate it, but you have the experience to make better decisions.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Start young and fuck up because you're only going to learn. But at a certain way, too, it's like...
At a certain point, it starts to hurt.
Yeah.
So then, make better decisions.
Yeah. Huh. Narcissist, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, narcissist, Donnie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Huh. Well... That's what you were going to razzle dazzle me with tonight?
I thought that saying good versus evil was going to fuck up. I thought you were going to queef on Mike or something. Like, honestly, you're like, when I was like, it's good versus evil and the human condition that science knows is narcissism. I thought you're going to be like, no, it's a perpetual, like I said, we're in this... We are in an awakening just because of how much you talk. If communication, like they say, micro, macro, if you can take a prison yard riot and all the guards and all the prisoners are like, yeah, whenever something happens, there's just a feeling and we know it. Okay. So that's the micro. You take that on a grand scale where communication through like social medias, able to talk to physically someone, text someone, take polls. I don't know why I said take polls, but you're able to do that. That's going to change the collective thought process even more. It's going to have more of an impact on the social status. So I think we have to be at this point where like technology is pushing this to like this new thing where when everyone's aware, you have a decision. This is fuck. Isn't that the Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill? You know, you live in a society where things are fucked. We just learned, before you came here, I learned Candace Owens was right about the Charlie Kirk thing. He sent a bunch of texts the day before saying he thought he was going to get assassinated.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Hang on. I don't know what to trust anymore. So, but the reality is it's all just a show.
But that's what I mean.
Yes, it's
Isn't
real people's lives, but it's all
narcissism?
coordinated by and yes, it's a good versus evil. I don't know if it, Mike, at this fucking point, I don't know if it all, no, it does not all boil down to narcissism. It boils down to good versus evil.
No, because that boils down to narcissism. If we're just living this world where we like to grab each other when we're sweaty in our bathrobes,
oh my,
and it feels good. Yeah. But if we're at this point where we're like, we see how the world operates, like
yes, the veil is thinning.
Yeah. And so you can tell that just because I want to go in my bathrobe because you're mandating I get shots or I do this or prices or this for gas or beef, you're seeing someone's view of the world. If the world really just happened in a natural state, it would kind of be like hunting for the most part. But even then, still, you get collective groups of power. You get bands of people that like tribes and they get together.
So,
and
hang on. What I think is at the core of the good versus evil is that most people don't know who they are authentically to. They cannot authentically answer the I am question. And that's what forces us to live in these systems of control.
Yeah.
That's how we remain trapped in these systems of control. So,
I am is an interesting thing because, like, I am as closely
not
as
too many people can answer that one. Although most people will give you answers that are incorrect. If you draw two columns and put in one is I am versus I do or I learned, real fast you'll start to find that most of the things you identify yourself as are things that you learned or that you do.
Yeah,
and they don't fall in. Getting back to the I am column is a lot tougher than it sounds.
But doesn't that go to like what I said about like, yeah, you're a free man and stuff, but what made you is doing that work repetitively and like becoming proficient. You just know how to use some fucking deep pipe conduit, no problem. You know what I mean? You know how to lay wire. You know how to figure out electrical.
But that's not who I am.
No, but
that falls under I do / I learned.
Yes, but part of that is that's your nature. Like your body, like think of this.
It's something No.
But think of this. If genetics are real, right? If what you're enacted in your environment, it technically changes your genome. So if you work nothing with wire in wire families through generations and generations, there has to be a gene that is starting to adapt to that. Maybe your thumb gets slimmer to pull wire through a pipe quicker. I don't give a fuck what it is, but something starts to happen. So no, it is. It makes sense. Listen, right? It makes sense. So part of it is, yeah, part of it is what you do becomes what you like, who you are. Now, that doesn't mean you're dictated, right? Just because you're a star, like you work on the Death Star for like.
Hang on, which control console am I at?
Dude, you're at the very front, dude. You operate the windshield wipers in space. You're ready to rock and roll. But just because you're a stormtrooper, right, doesn't mean you believe everything that the Imperial Society believes.
I think you do. Because that I've told you guys.
Wasn't that the last movie is stepping out? That's what rebellion is.
When I first did this exercise when Christy had me do this, one of the words I used to describe myself was patriotic. And she go, okay, did you arrive here as a newborn patriotic, or is that something you learned? It's like, oh fuck, that is something you learned. And I was a stormtrooper.
You were, yeah. There's tons of other stormtroopers.
Because I was running the learned behavior of patriotic.
But just because you're that stormtrooper, like that is involved, doesn't mean there's others that start to think differently. This is something, but that's what others. But that's realizing narcissism. The way reality is because someone's conscripting it.
I think that was understanding the control game, little by little.
But what is control? Control is you, like the cell phone. You know someone's dying making it.
At the highest level, what I believe is that the matrix is learned behavior. It's not programming like computer programming like ones and zeros, but human beings, our minds are programmable. So you have an operating system underneath, and then you are taught almost from birth, learned behaviors. Like wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. You were not born, that's not a natural instinct. That's something somebody taught you. So that in this case, perhaps it serves most of us well, right? It increases hygiene, but it is a learned behavior. So when you start to go down this road of how much of what I do day by day by day is learned behavior versus an authentic, like really rings true to the core, something I just fucking enjoy, then you will start to find that most of your life, and this is why people are so miserable. This is why America is dealing with this enormous mental health crisis that nobody fucking knows what to do about, because we've all been, again, learned behavior conditioned to think that modern Western medicine based on pharmaceuticals is the best way to solve every problem. And now it's showing itself how I shouldn't even say itself. It's showing us how broken it is. And what it is that we are all running these fucking learned behavioral programs that do not serve us and that leave us hollow and empty. And the purpose of that is to keep us on this hamster wheel of the grind, not questioning it, just spinning to run the machine. Like, there's a very small number of people who are very wealthy at the top, and we are literally the engine that is making them wealthy, because our money, our fucking paper dollars, there's no actual value backing that. So the real value that they are extracting from you every fucking day is your time and your energy and your attention. So every day we give away our time, our energy, and our attention to, again, sacrificing right now because we have this nebulous idea that when the future arrives, we'll have this security. But again, every time the future arrives, that security, that fake number on your bank account screen, touch your money. You can't touch your money. It doesn't exist. It's a fucking picture on your cell phone screen.
It's easy to say when you don't have a house in the fucking Italian Naples. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's people that do, though.
So what I'm saying is everybody is continually sacrificing their present moment so that the picture of their bank account on their fucking cell phone will be replenished on Friday, but then by the following Thursday, it's depleted again. And they're like, oh my God, I got to keep sacrificing the present moment over and over and over and over again. And every time, like, when is the future here? Now? No, it never arrives. So we are always, so the present, this is why we say the present moment is all that exists, because when will the future be here? Now, no, it never arrives. And so if you're sacrificing the present, which is all you have, for security in the future is never here. And so then your fake little number on your screen runs down and runs down and runs down, and you're forever living in this fear loop of the grind, because at some point you just have to get off or understand that it's going to run you into the ground. This is why most people die within like 3 to 5 years of retirement, because now they're off the wheel. They don't know what to do with themselves. They spent their entire adult life just fucking spinning that hamster wheel. And they're like, Ricky Bobby, like, what do I do with my hands? They've been kept in a low-grade state of anxiety for 40 years. So that's why that's where all this fucking disease comes from, dis-ease, right?
Do you think it would be better, like, if workplaces promoted thought? Like what we do here, if this was mandatory, like just a question, like what is
about
living?
The workplace of the Enlightened Neanderthals.
Yeah, dude, this is water cooler talk.
We promote open discussion.
This is a fine edge of a mental forged obsidian blade.
It's too bad we're not on video because we're sitting in the think tank right now.
Oh, dude, the think tank? Did we just name
named
garage?
our studio? Yeah, the think tank. Oh shit.
Oh fuck, dude, it's so stupid. I don't know. It's like I said, this is just something I've been rolling around with. Is like this. I hear good versus evil a lot. And it's like, how do I quantify that, like, in my thought scientifically? Not saying I'm a scientist, but it's like, okay, this is like a religious term, but how could you also say this good versus evil thing? And it's like, well, yeah, like you're saying, you have an imbalance, but of what? And it's like people that feel they deserve more and they don't care what the consequences are. And I feel
I think it's more like people are going, they don't even realize it. Their fight or flight is activated at a low level, and they're moving into like a survival, like a base level of action.
But that's kind of what Brent always talks about. It is like not consumer biasism, but what is it? Like situational biasism. I'm fucking up the word, but like you're not accepting what's happening around you. Right. So it's easier to buy it. Like COVID happened and they're like, dude, you go out, everyone will die. And so people just lock themselves at home. you know, but at the same time, like I did not know anyone that died of COVID. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, tons of people did. And I feel bad if you had loved ones and all that. But I knew no one. But like after seeing that for a year, a year and a half, and people that still wore masks, you know, or they're still like freaked out about it. But that's in their head, there's still this problem thing out there, and that the government has it and they're going to take care of us. And the best thing for me to do is just keep going on with that narrative, because if I buy into that, that provides me security, right? That person to me isn't a narcissist.
If you continue to consent to the game, the Matrix, then you can have the security of the grocery store.
But that is
what it's all about.
Right. But the person that's running it is the narcissist. They know that's fucking up that person for the benefit of their own good.
I think they're psychopaths.
Because I agree too. Agree. Yeah. I don't know. Good and evil, dude.
I'm trying to Google psychopath definition because I looked up narcissist and we were both kind of right. It's entitled, self-important, involving selfishness, lack of empathy, devaluation of others. So let's look up.
I feel lack of empathy is everything, though. That's anyone that's going to fucking hit an old lady or fucking take a sucker from a baby.
We could take an online psychopath test, see like all three of us.
Do you want to fail live?
Yeah, who scores highest? Yes, psychopathy characterized by persistent pattern of antisocial behavior, lack of empathy and remorse,
Real question.
Egotistical traits. That sounds like a lot of our elected officials.
Tobin, you blew me away last time when we were kind of talking about about your Army Ranger skills and like your lack thereof sometimes when it came to like fire and like creating survival things. Don't get me wrong, your mind is in it.
We just survived through sheer misery.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your mind is what made you survive it.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn survival situations for being captured and interrogated?
So we did do like a training session where they literally they hunted us with dogs in the woods for it was like a week. And we were doing it was a full squad. It was like a break contact and
every man for himself.
No, the squad was sticking together, like basically, running through an E&E lane. And then at the end of it, everybody gets captured, and they took us to, I don't know, some barn somewhere and fucking sprayed us with a fire hose and slapped us around a little bit. And then that was pretty. And then this is how stupid the Army is. Then they're kind of like,
"Yeah, dude, you're unbreakable."
Right, well,
yeah.
I guess that was pretty good training, huh?
No one will ever get the information from this man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. I would have figured they given you more into like, resisting information.
I never went to SEER school. It's like that's like a whole fucking. There's
what is
survival, escape, resistance, and survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. So that is
that's a resistance part. Yeah.
Yes. But so they taught us some of the resistance techniques, and before they captured us and sprayed us with a hose. If I could, it was in the winter.
A bunch of guys in Ranger
but at
at
that point, it's been like 2.5 years of people just fucking with you nonstop. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, we're getting sprayed with a hose and it's cold again. Like, I don't care. I'm fucking numb. There comes a point when it's like, how many more of these fucking evolutions do we need to go through to prove that I don't care?
All right. Final question then. Do you think the Army itself is a narcissist? Well, I mean, they're changing the outcome.
No. I think it's just a tool. It's a tool of empire.
Just like any other institution or something.
Yeah.
It's just a tool. Yeah, but that tool has fucking very far reach. Whereas most hammers can get 18 inches. That tool can get 1,800 miles.
It's foreign policy by force.
18,000 miles. Yeah. But that's kind of more than a tool then.
Well, no, it's the tool by which we execute our foreign policy, or it's the the threat behind the glass.
Do you think at the end of the day that tool still like nukes? America will blow you away.
I don't know. I can never answer that question if anyone would ever actually hit the launch button.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff you see from the declassified stuff of the Cold War, and it's like Russia had a fraction of the nukes that we said they did, and it's like all these hot events that it's like, oh, we're so close to firing a nuke. It was all in the United States for the most part. I don't know. Good versus evil.
Good versus evil.
Good versus evil.
Good night, everybody.